Hello, friends. How are you? How's things? How's life? I'm doing good. I'm having allergies are pretty bad today, so I might sound a little sick. I'm not sick. It's just stupid freaking allergies. It's really crushing me. Um, our friend California Chris asked a good question yesterday, and I wanted to touch on it because it's a fun topic. I don't know that I've talked about this in a while, so uh, kind of wait. Where did this comment go? Here we go. Some of you don't know this about me. I mentioned the other day that I am the cook of the house. I am, and I have been, and I always have been. I started cooking as a teenager, um, and I kind of always have enjoyed cooking. So I've done it most of my life now. Um, and our friend California Chris um, said, "I remember your bachelor diet was famously very plain, like beans and rice and simple fast meals, because you didn't quote enjoy gourmet cooking." Um, yes and no. Yes, my bachelor life food, which when I cook for myself, especially like if nobody's here, uh, I lived by myself for 6 months between my ex leaving me and my kids starting to come back around. Yes, I basically lived on just rice and beans. Different kinds of beans, so I would change it up sometimes. I'd have red beans, I'd have black beans. Um, Steamed white rice, that's it. I had ramen, would be a pretty common thing I'd have. And then there's a few like freezer things that I'll keep around, like I have frozen French fries and frozen chicken strips. Um, that's really about it. And that would be my food. I could literally eat rice and beans every day, all day, and that I would be happy. I don't do a whole lot with that meal. When I make something like black beans, I like to put some kind of traditional Mexican seasoning to it. So I'll do like a cumin and chili powder and salt and a little bit of lime juice. If I'm doing something like red beans, pretty much just go with like a salt, paprika. Um, that's about it. Like I don't do a whole lot of addition to that. I feel like with navy beans, I'd have to put some sort of fat in. They really need like a butter, but I'm also lactose intolerant. So if I do put butter in, I got to take pills. So oftentimes I'll just use an oil. I feel like navy beans really need fat to go with them. But so I would change up the flavor profile of those a little bit. But what the important part, like Chris mentions here, is that they're all like meals I don't have to cook. Like, yes, I technically have to cook them, but I can put beans in a pot, put some seasoning in it, turn the stove on, come back in a half an hour and eat, and I don't have to think about it. Like when the rice cooker goes off, everything's ready, and that was the bigger part of that. Um, Also, I've never been a foodie. I like food and I eat food, but I don't care about food. It's not something that motivates me. I don't get excited for it. Uh, every now and then I'll have a craving that I'll be like, man, I really want fried chicken. It's usually fried chicken. It's almost always fried chicken. Or I really want a specific pizza or whatever. But I don't typically give any damns what I eat. Eating to me is just a something I have to do to stay alive. It's not something that I am going to sit and enjoy the experience of. I would much rather be doing anything else than eating. Eating is just taking up time in my day to keep myself alive. And so that was my bachelor meals reflected that. Spicy ramen, rice and beans. I could live off that forever. Nowadays, I still cook for myself for like lunch meals. Typically, and we'll just have like yogurt in the morning, and then I'll make her a grilled cheese or something simple for lunch. She doesn't eat a big lunch. I only eat twice a day, so I will cook myself lunch, and my lunch is typically spicy ramen, black beans, not with rice. I'll usually have my black beans. Now my lunch black beans, I'll fry some eggs, and I'll have some tomatoes and chilies, and then usually like tortillas or tortilla chips, and just kind of like a huevos rancheros type thing, but using black beans instead of pinto beans. The reason is black beans don't give me gas nearly as much as pinto beans do, and I really like like refried, mashed up black beans. They're really, really good. So I still eat that. I mean, I probably eat beans 2 to 3 times a week. I eat ramen at least once a week. Nowadays, I'm making my own. I used to be nong shim. I still have nong shim in the cabinet, but I typically throw the packets away. I'm also allium intolerant, so onion and garlic causes me intense gas and bloating. I'll eat it, but I try to avoid it if I can. So when I make my own ramen, I make my own soup base, make my own spicy ramen. So I am cooking more for myself. I am doing a little bit more fancy stuff these days. So anyway, to continue with his question, now that the bachelor life is pretty far behind you, and you mentioned that you're the primary cook for the family, has your outlook on cooking changed at all? I guess yes, I could say that. Like I just told you, I'm now eating slightly fancier versions of the meals I used to eat. Some of that is because I know it's not good for me. You know, the stuff that comes in that packet is mostly like preservatives and salts and stuff that I don't need to have tons of. But I've discovered that I have this allium allergy, and so that it always causes me crazy gas, crazy bloating, sometimes diarrhea, and I didn't know that it was the onions and garlic until recently. So yes, I am doing a little bit more, quote, gourmet cooking for myself, but not a lot of it. But I've always loved cooking. This is the funny part of it. I still love cooking. I do it every single day for my family. I cook meals each night. I enjoy providing for other people. And that's the thing. It's not necessarily the cooking. I mean, I do enjoy the cooking, and I enjoy experimenting with the stuff that I cook. I don't really have recipes. I just kind of make it up. Always have. I have regular meals, but I don't really measure stuff, you know. I still enjoy the cooking. Now, it gets stressful sometimes, you know, after a few weeks of like, I'm always picking the meals, I'm always doing the cooking, I'm always doing the shopping. Recently, with the baby, Malia's been doing some of the grocery shopping because it's just a way to get out of the house. She'll take the baby, they'll go to the grocery shopping, they'll get the stuff. So, I haven't had to do all of it, but it does get tiresome sometimes. And I'll just be like, listen, we're having freezer pizza tonight. Well, like, I don't really feel like thinking about food. I'm just going to make a freezer pizza. If you want something else, feel free to feed yourself. Right? So I do keep freezer pizzas also. Do you enjoy the process any more now than you did before? Sometimes. There are some things that I enjoy cooking more than others. And some of those things are things that I enjoy for myself, surprisingly. Like chili. I love chili. I absolutely love chili. Again, it's mostly beans and tomatoes. But my family doesn't like it that much, so I don't make it very often. I get excited about chili days. I love cornbread, so I make cornbread with my chili, that sort of stuff. I do enjoy seeing, Malia's reaction to my food. That always makes me feel good. So I guess I don't know that I enjoy it more. I've always enjoyed cooking for other people. But maybe it's a little special now. Maybe it's a little bit more important now because I have, my oldest daughter was pretty picky. And so when she was around, before she moved, she lives like an hour and a half from here now. When I would cook, the whole family would be over. I'd have to basically cook her a separate meal, and that was always extra stressful. I enjoyed doing it for her, but it was like, here's another thing I have to like time on top of cooking the rest of this stuff. If you've ever tried to cook for a family, the timing of the dishes is the important factor. And so timing her stuff, whatever it was, mac and cheese or whatever, in combination with the other stuff was always extra stressful. I don't have that stress anymore. It makes me sad because it means I'm not seeing my kid, but it's also nicer when I cook a meal because it's not super, super stressful. I will say also that I feel a little bit guilty cooking sometimes because it means that like the baby could be having a fit or whatever, and I'm just get to take a break and go cook, dinner for 40 minutes or whatever. That makes me feel slightly guilty sometimes. And he says, when was the last time you did a proper barbecue? A West Virginia man and his shed has to have a nice proper barbecue, right? The last time I had a proper barbecue, you might laugh at me, it was when I was in Poland 2 years ago. They had a barbecue for me, and I ended up helping do the cooking. That was the last time I had a barbecue, like an actual on the barbecue. I do not have a barbecue. I mean, I have one of those little, it's not a Weber, but it's a little like Walmart version of the Weber ball. But Malia doesn't like charcoal, the taste of charcoal, so I don't use it. It just sits on my porch. Like, in fact, I should probably go throw it away. It's probably rotted out. It's been sitting out there for like 5 years. I don't have a barbecue for a couple different reasons. I don't have a place for one that's convenient. My front porch is only about 22 inches wide, maybe 24 inches wide. It's more of a decorative element to the house. So like putting a barbecue out there doesn't make any sense. My back porch is uncovered and it's like on the back side of the house. So to get from the kitchen to the back porch and from the back porch back in into like the serving area, it's like kind of a complete pain in the ass to go out there. Nobody would want to go hang out while you're like cooking out there. Like the front porch is the logical place and there's no room for one there. I could fit a tiny one there. And it's just usually just the two of us. And so I don't really do barbecues. I do enjoy having grilled meats and, you know, stuff like that. I never really got into the grilled pineapples and stuff, but I do enjoy like kebabs and burgers and hot dogs and that sort of stuff. I just don't ever really make those things. And if I do it in a skillet or in a pan or in the oven because it's less bothersome. So no, I do not have a barbecue. It's something that I want. I do want one. And I could put one like in the shed here and wheel it out and have like driveway parties in the summer. But I've never really done that, and I don't really have friends anymore. Like I have friends, but nobody locally really. Like I have like my bandmate and like another friend that might come over, maybe two friends that might come over. So it's not like I don't have a crowd to invite and be like, hey, we're going to have a barbecue. Let's have a hangout. I need to work on that. I need to have more people in my life. But yeah, that's kind of sad, isn't it? It's kind of a sad thing to say I don't have a barbecue. If you want to say a true, proper barbecue, the last time I was at BGDCon in Dallas was probably 6 years ago? 8 years ago? That's the last time I had like Dallas barbecue. That's a real barbecue. Thank you for the question. Thoughts, comments, questions of your own? You should put those down below. I enjoy it when you guys ask fun questions like that because it makes this easier to film every day. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. We are still growing. Positive growth is fantastic. And I might want to talk about that tomorrow because it's also kind of funny. I appreciate you very, very much. See you again tomorrow. Today's 1,000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We are learning 12 relationship truths we often forget. Heated arguments are a waste of time. Number 9. The less time you spend arguing with the people who hurt you, the more time you have to love the people who love you. And if you happen to find yourself arguing with someone you love, don't let your anger get the best of you. Give yourself some time to calm down and then gently discuss the situation. The important part here is that you actually get the argument out. You just don't have to yell about it. Like, the important part is to not hold back. Especially in a very intimate personal relationship, the truth is super important. And being extremely, brutally truthful is super important. Just try to keep the emotions out of it.